Hello crafty friends and welcome to another video here on Sam's Crafty Castle. Today's video is super short, sweet, and simple, which sometimes is the best way to go. So I was in the mood to play with my watercolors a little bit. I just gotten them and haven't really made any projects with them yet. So I was in the mood to give it a go. So here are the Prima watercolors. I have a few of these sets. This one is the Decadent Pies collection. I believe there's 6 of these in total. It could be more, don't quote me on that. But they're really nice. I really like how small they are. It makes them really easy to store, and I don't watercolor a lot, so it's not like I need the tubes or the really big pans or anything like that. So this works out great for me. So I'm just taking a water brush here, and I'm putting it in the blueberry colored ink. This set has a little bit of a shimmer to it. It's not super shimmery, but just a little bit, adds a little something something. Again, this card's being super simple, so I'm literally taking the color and just scribbling like a little kid would in a coloring book before they really know what it means to stay in the line. So I'm just kind of getting some color down on the paper, and then I decide that it's not quite what I want, and I want a little bit more to my background. So I'm going to come back in with another color, which is blackberry. It's a little darker, and just add a little, I actually add a lot of bit to it, but it just adds a little something to it that I ended up liking a little bit better in the end. But again, I'm just scribbling stuff down, and then I let it dry, and that's it. And I knew I didn't want to cover the whole thing. I just wanted it to kind of be like a focal center thing. So that is basically the technique for this week, guys. That's how simple it is. You don't have to be a world-class watercolor artist to use your watercolors or make a little background or something. I had done another one before this, which I ended up throwing out just because I didn't like the color combination I picked, and decided I wanted to go with this more type of style instead, where I was doing sort of like a stripe blend, but I just didn't like how the colors went together. And then I just decided I wanted something a little more abstract than even the stripes were. So it's that simple to make an easy, quick, simple watercolor card. And it's, you know, if you don't have to even use the Prima watercolors. You can do it with like a $2 Crayola set if you want. And you don't, again, this is just one of those things where it's supposed to be a really easy card, a really easy background technique that you can just put together if you need something quick. This little tree, leaf, flower, whatever you want to call him, is from a Unity Stamp Co. collab with Gina K Designs called Peace, Courage, and Memories. It is a sympathy, thinking of you kind of set. I don't generally like to make sympathy cards because to me they're very specific, and you send them out because someone has passed away and that's it. So I prefer to make thinking of you cards and keep some of those on hand. A, I just prefer the sentiment or the greeting better, and B, you can send it out for more reasons. Like if someone's just having a hard time or something like that, you can send them a thinking of you card, which I just get more use out of them, so it's better for me to keep them around. So I was also in the mood to do some heat embossing, which if you follow me on Instagram, there was an Instagram story from a while from when I made this card. I had lost my white embossing powder in the move to the new craft room, and I still don't really know where it is, but I found this Glitters Galore, which used to be Sparkle and Sprinkle embossing powder. So mine is actually still labeled Sparkle and Sprinkle, but now they've just rebranded as Glitters Galore. And yeah, so I found that, and it was good enough, so I used it. And it is a detail embossing powder. I generally prefer my Gina K Designs white embossing powder more for detailed images, but this one wasn't super detailed image, so it was okay. You also might have noticed I did not use my Misty when I stamped. I thought with such a bold image it would be okay without it in the watercolor paper, but it still wasn't a super clean, nice impression that I got. But for this card it worked because the kind of more not as perfect stamp kind of went with my little bit freer and wild background. So it worked in this case, but once again, I always recommend using your Misty. You're going to get a better result, let's be honest. So that's pretty much the card, guys. That's all there is to it. I'm going to pull out a card base, which is a navy card base. I'm not really sure what brand it is of navy, but it's like a dark blue card base. And then I have a stamp that says thinking of you. It's kind of a scripty style. I also don't have the manufacturer of that written down anywhere, but it worked for what I wanted to do here. I'm going to stamp it in the Gina K Designs Amalgam Obsidian ink, which might very much be my new favorite. I know I used it in the last video, and if you read last week's blog post, I talked about it again. Or no, not last week's blog post. I still didn't have it for last week's blog post, but anyway, that's besides the point. So I'm going to stamp that on the top. Again, I don't use my Misty, but I got lucky and it came out well on the first try. Gotta love it. And that's it. I don't know what else to say. You're going to watch me glue it together, which all of y'all know how to do already, probably anyway. So yeah, that was it. That was this week's card. Nice, simple. Again, I always think, again, thinking of you cards and things like that are meant to be a little more simple, and you just, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. So again, I'm going to stamp this little thinking of you on here, and I'm going to sign off now and maybe put some music under the rest of the video. Not that there's a whole lot left. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. And I will see you again in a few weeks with another video. That video I do not have planned yet, so I don't know what it's going to be. So we'll find out together next time. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.